Now he won't do it now. All right, let's get, Pat's going to freak out if we don't do it right now. Go ahead.
Okay, Thank you. Folks, some of you may know a good friend of mine, Kent Knudsen, hardcore lefty, hardcore 9/11 truther. He committed suicide a week ago. And Wednesday night, there's going to be a memorial service for him. I don't have the final details, but if you're interested in coming, just see me before the end of the meeting. Or
they're going to have it at the Arizona Billboard.
Oh, they are? Okay. If I got to leave early, then see Richie. Richie, raise your hand. Thank you.
Yeah, he had a lot of legal things going, and just finally he knew where this was going, and he just said, you know what, I got my own solution, so that's something else. Michael Kilsky has been a good friend for probably 15 years. We've been, since the mid-90s and run stuff. Well, he has taken on the dubious task of being head of the Libertarian Party to make sure that we all have libertarians to run, to vote for, to have. That's all we ever need. Just make sure you fill out the paperwork and done. First, do no harm. You want to help people, stop hurting them, okay? That's Michael Kilsky. And he's taken on this position in county attorney, running for that. You got to fill out all kinds of crap and be qualified and everything. He is. And he found himself in a head-to-head run against Bill Montgomery. And man, if libertarians want to run against somebody, to show the difference between them, Bill Montgomery's a really good guy to do it. Absolutely. So, Michael Kilsky.
Look, it's about 32 days till election. If you're still voting, be sure to do cast your vote for me. If you're not voting, you can still help. Spread the word. I've got some of these. I think I put some on everybody's in front of everybody. Take one. It's just information about the Libertarian Party. There's a there's a link to my website on there as well. What I need most right now is just help spread the word that there is an alternative. My opponent, who is a nice enough guy, by the way, we've chatted a number of times, there is not a law in the books that he won't enforce. To the hell. Contrast that to my approach, and I've made no bones about it. The limited resources of that office should be used to prosecute those who are accused of having committed a crime, where we can identify a victim, where they've caused harm, and not bother prosecuting anybody for simple possession, paying for sex, whatever. One thing that I found is I was at a little gathering last night. There were a whole bunch of judges there. Judges are coming up to me and going, we like what you're saying. We like that you're, we may not agree with everything you're saying, but we like that you're out there saying the things that other people won't say. And maybe you'll win, maybe you won't, but at least you're saying it. And that's what this campaign for me is about. I'm saying the things that need to be said. I'm saying the things that I need, and I'm providing contrast to the establishment candidate. If you want somebody that's hard right, there's a candidate. If you want somebody that's pro-freedom, that is going to follow the principles upon which this country was founded, basically, live and let live. That's it. Talk about justice, I talk about freedom, I talk about peace. Those are the principles. Live and let live. Justice, freedom, peace. You want that? Help me out. I've got some of these. If people want to help distribute them, get on my Facebook page, share with your friends. Just get the word out. I'm running basically it's about a minimalist campaign as I can. I'm doing it pretty much on my own. If anybody out here wants to help out, I've already had one offer. Help me distribute some of the literature. Ed has done a great job helping put up signs. If you've seen some of these signs out and about, well, I think Ed has been the one that's been putting them up. Any help I can get, please help out. If somebody actually wants to give me a little bit of money to pay for some materials, I'll take it. But I haven't been asking for money. Primarily, I've been asking for people just to help. Whatever you can do. So I'll be here through the end of the meeting. Come talk to me if you want to help distribute stuff. Like I said, if nothing else, talk to your friends and neighbors about the fact that there is a choice. There is a pro-freedom candidate that is on the ballot for county attorney, and Good Lord. Could there be a better time to have a libertarian as county attorney in Maricopa County?
Here, here.
All the crap that's going on right now? If there's a better time, I haven't seen it. So help me out. Thank you.
Crimes, is there anybody that can force you to prosecute things that you don't want to prosecute? I mean, is there any mechanism for that?
My answer to that is, we'll see.
Oh,
There isn't supposed to be, but you know, in all seriousness, that's a question that I thought about. You know, is there somebody that's going to take umbrage to it? One of my campaign pledges is the very first act, once I'm sworn in as county attorney, is to file motions in all the courts where there's any photo radar cases that are still pending and dismiss every still pending photo radar case because they're crap. See what happens in those cases, and they're junk. They circumvent the rules, they short circuit the rules, they don't give you due process, and they gotta go. And again, I don't know, you know, who knows? Depends on who's the AG. Maybe the AG will step in and say, no, we'll do it. I don't know.
Dismiss all Castle Doctrine cases immediately.
Sorry.
Well, you know, yeah.
As Maricopa County, you mentioned dismissing the simple possession of controlled substances. Personally, I don't think there should be any item in the world that should be a controlled substance or restricted property. So that's actually, I'm happy with that.
Well, Ernie was, you know, Ernie and I had this conversation a few months ago. He was telling me about this guy up in Seattle who was running for district attorney up there, and he made a campaign pledge about, you know, if you have an ounce or less, you won't be prosecuted. And I turned to Ernie and I'm going, ounce? I'm talking pounds here, man. So I don't care. And people asked me the other day, you know, are you in favor of medical marijuana? I'm like, I'm in favor of marijuana for medical and all other purposes. I just don't participate in it because I don't care for it. I don't think it's a smart thing to do. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, fine. Live with the natural consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're waiting.
We're waiting? I know.
Get to it, man.
What's your question?
Okay, let's get to it. Maricopa County Attorney, so your approach would be non-enforcement as opposed to, because this is a state level, there are state level statutes for infraction, and federal level. So
Okay.
your approach.
The county is the prosecutor for all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the county attorney is the chief prosecutor for most of the crimes. The attorney general does very little prosecution on crimes.
Right.
The city courts, the city prosecutors do some prosecution for, you know, some misdemeanor crimes up to some very low level felonies, but pretty much misdemeanors and below. They typically get done at the city courts as well. So I have no control over that directly. I may have some indirect control over that. But again, the bottom line is, if you can't point at a victim and say, that person was hurt by this person that's the accused, and here's the damage that they suffered, I'm just like, you know,
Where's the crime?
I'm correct, the other argument would be clear and present danger. Okay, you're driving recklessly, you didn't hurt nobody, but...
I don't want to get into the philosophical edge conditions, kind of like, well, they could have hurt, well, I don't know.
I know.
I'm just making it very clear. There's some very bright lines. If you have an ounce of marijuana in your pocket, in Arizona, that's a crime. You can go to jail. I'm not interested in that. Anybody else have?
What approach are you going to take to the subject that Ernie just went apart? Most of the guys doing the crimes are other attorneys.
Oh well, if they're other attorneys, I guess they get a pass. You know, again, the bottom.
Directly go after some of these criminals.
Well, you have to understand. I mean, this is very typical. The process, the way it works, is a complaint-driven process. You got to have somebody that's going to be able to say, here's the facts, and there's the damage, there's the harm. You know, is there, and then if there is a criminal violation, yeah, I'll look into it, I'll investigate it. I can't make any blanket promises because I don't know enough about this. I know enough to have my suspicions, but I don't know enough to say, okay, well, there's the guy, there's the bad guy, let's go arrest him.
But if there's a bad guy,
There's a bad guy, and again, if you can identify a victim, if you can identify the harm, okay, let's go.